Pioneer fans, Pioneer men's varsity basketball is live and on the air. We are live here at the main gym on the campus of Pioneer High School, where it is your Pioneer men's varsity basketball team taking on the Huron River Rats. Huron is 15-2 on the season. Their only losses is one to Bloomfield Hills Brother Rice on December 30th. They beat them 72-56, and then Pioneer beat Huron at Huron 61-55 back on January 17th. So this is going to be a fantastic game. Hopefully, Pioneer 11-4 coming in. So two tightly contested teams. We are very lucky to have here Coach Mike Ahrens with us. And Coach, you got to talk to both of these coaches. What did they talk about?
Well, I could sense the nerves, and this is just not a typical game for the season. It is a big one. As a matter of fact, both of them are ranked. You just shared the one-loss records. At home, Pioneer this season is 7-1, which is very, very good. Now on the road for Huron is even better. They're 8-0. But I did get a chance to talk to Coach Marion, and he said there's three things that he's very concerned with tonight, and think these things are key to walk away with a win. Number one is to defend and communicate. That means all five players communicating consistently. And it's a man-to-man team, so they're going to have to communicate. You can't break down when a team puts five good players on the floor.
Absolutely.
Second is win that rebound war. We've heard that many times. That is so important. That's a big statistic. And also to execute the game plan.
Indeed.
Huron's coach, Mo, very similar. Points in the paint, the battle in the middle, and transition is important, offense to defense.
Indeed.
Because this game can get picked up very quickly. I went to the game January 17th, and as you said, the score was 61-55, but they were getting up and down the floor. Both teams, big part of their game plan is a result of the transition. So I did some stats research here for Huron, and they are averaging 17 in the first quarter, 20 in the second, 37 in the first half, 20 in the third, and their weakest offensive scoring quarter is the fourth with 15. I did not have toe-to-toe with Pioneer on that. But toe-to-toe stats, Huron is averaging almost 65 a game. That's
wow.
16 a quarter. And they're giving up 47.8 points a game, about 12 a quarter. But Pioneer beats that with 11.3 points per quarter. They score 58.2 a game, 14.5 per quarter.
So it should be hopefully a good game. If maybe Pioneer kind of caught Huron off guard that first game, that's not going to happen again, obviously, in this game. They have Huron's full attention. And as we're about to have the national anthem, then we'll get back and be able to talk about who the officials are. But ladies and gentlemen, to honor America, the playing of the national anthem. As before we get into the starting lineups, did you manage to get the officials' names?
Yes, tonight on the floor we have Demetrius Owens, who has 13 years experience.
Nice.
Rob Loof. We also have Les English, who has been officiating for 18 years. Another veteran crew.
Fantastic. As we are getting ready for the starting lineups between both of these squads, as John welcoming everyone here. It is a lively gym. It was lively during the JV contest. It wasn't necessarily close. Lots of folks in here from both squads. So lovely to see a big game like this on a Tuesday evening. Latham starting for Huron in their dark black jerseys with the green on the sides. Micah Powell being announced, Pioneer in their white jerseys with the purple numbers on the front and back, Pioneer in block lettering. Dumboye being announced for Huron. Freisteller being announced for Pioneer. Caleb Brown coming out for Huron. Mutinda being announced for Pioneer. Is Esau being announced for Huron? Harrison coming out for Pioneer. And Moore coming out, completing the starting five for Huron. And Sampa on the other side for Huron, or for Pioneer, excuse me. Kasim, the coach for Huron, Rich Marion for Pioneer, as we are getting ready to go here. Again, we're very happy to have Coach Ahrens and his wife Kim doing stats for us. James Wiseman on camera. CTN also here. Their game, if you want to see this again with their broadcast, will be live tomorrow. Typically, they get it up the day after. Freisteller in to take this opening tip versus Latham. And we're getting ready to get this game underway. Both cheer crowds here. Sampa jacks it down on the near wing. Pioneer with the ball first. Over half court, Sampa brings it ahead as he's working against Moore. Sampa gets it over as Mutinda over to Powell. Powell over to Freisteller on the near wing. Freisteller dishes it off. Sampa screen from Mutinda onto the far elbow. Sampa puts it up off the back of the rim. And pulled down. Issa heads the other way. Issa over half court for Huron. Issa being watched by Sampa. Now moves it over to Latham on the near wing. Latham over to Moore. Moore on the near sideline. Moore dishes off in the near corner. Issa for three. That off the rim. Pulled down as that's Mutinda with the rebound. Headed ahead is Sampa for Pioneer. Scoreless here. 7:13 left to go. Sampa top of the key. Sampa steps back over to Freisteller on the near wing. Freisteller gets it over to Harrison. Harrison to the free throw line on the far wing. Harrison works over to Freisteller. That tipped away, ball down. Moore coming the other direction. Mutinda gets it over to Freisteller. Mutinda puts it up. That wouldn't go down as coming the other direction. Moore has it over on the far wing. That put up wouldn't go by Caleb Brown. Mutinda gets the rebound the other direction. Here comes Sampa the other way for Pioneer. Over half court, scoreless so far into the near corner. Harrison down the baseline underneath the Freisteller. Up and in. Freisteller with the first points of the game. He has two, and it's 6:30 left to go here in the first. 2-0 Pioneer with the lead. Bringing it, Issa gets it over on the near wing. That's Dumboya to Moore. Moore on the near sideline. Moore spins with it, trying to get in, slip eight. Moore dishes it off. That over to Caleb Brown. There's Moore for three, and Moore hits it. He gets the three-pointer, and it is 3-2. Huron with the lead. Pioneer with the ball. Sampa has it on the far sideline. Sampa brings it down the far sideline, and that is a whistle. Issa picks up his first foul. First foul on either team. There's a three-pointer off the rim. Freistler trying to pull it down. Grabbed down by Latham, coming the other direction. Here comes Moore for Huron. Moore, top of the key. Moore dishes it off to Latham on the far wing. Latham down the baseline. Latham off of Sampa's foot, and that's going to be a kick ball. That'll go over to Huron. Tough luck off of a foot, so turnover does not happen. Huron to inbound, Moore to inbound, baseline right, Moore skies it over. Latham on the near wing. Latham hands it over to Issa. Issa over on the far wing. Grab down now, Moore for three. And off the rim, pulled down by Sampa. Sampa coming up the far sideline. Sampa works his way over midcourt. Sampa dribbles behind the back, now comes top of the key. Sampa racing down the far side of the paint, gets it over to Powell on the far wing. Powell comes down the baseline. Powell trying to put it up. That blocked by Latham. He's able to knock it off of Harrison out of bounds. That will be Huron ball. So it's a 3-2. Huron with the lead. They have the ball. 5:09 left to go here in the first in a really live gym. You got both of the cheer teams going loud and proud here as Moore over half court gets it over on the near wing to Jackson Kiefer and working his way around. Issa dishes it off to Latham in the far corner. Latham gets it back to Jackson Kiefer, now over on the near wing to Moore. Moore gets a screen from Dumboya, top of the into the far corner. Issa coming down, or Latham down, and that gets stuck. That will count as a jump ball, as second time we've seen that today. Happened in the JV game. Got caught between the backboard and the rim. 4:49 left to go here in the first. 1 point lead for Huron. Good defensive game so far. What are your thoughts early on, Coach?
Well, they're both playing a good, aggressive man-to-man. You can see Pioneer really trying to defend the paint as the game plan dictates.
Latham, Moore into the far corner. Moore trying to back his way in. Jackson Kiefer for three. That rims out. Trying to track it down is Freisteller. That will be Pioneer ball as Freisteller and Latham into the near corner. 4:28 left to go here in the first. As Sampa brings it in for Pioneer. Pioneer down by one. It's Huron 3, Pioneer 2. Sampa over half court. Issa has him there. Sampa over to Freisteller on the near wing. Freisteller gets it over to Harrison. Harrison for three. Harrison hits it. Harrison for three. And it's Pioneer 5, Huron 2. Huron with the ball. Bringing it ahead is Christian Brown over half court. Christian Brown. Now over to Latham on the far wing. Into the far corner. Moore has it. Moore being watched by Harrison into the paint. Moore puts it up. That rolls around off the side of the rim. But a whistle and a foul. Harrison picks up his first foul, one on Pioneer, one on Huron. That puts Moore to the line, shooting two. He can tie the game up. Ball spun by Moore, puts it up, then in. Moore with 4 points. He has all of the Huron points so far. Dumboye in, as well as Caleb Brown for Huron. As that put up and in by Moore. Moore has 5 points, and it's 5-5. We are tied up with 3:55 left to go. Bringing it ahead, here is Sampa. Sampa comes over midcourt. Sampa at the block A. Sampa gets it over to Mutinda. Mutinda over to Freisteller, back to Sampa. Sampa on the near wing. Sampa works his way around the arc, top of the key. Sampa puts it up, that off the back of the rim. Tipped back, trying to get it as Harrison has it. Harrison for 3, off the rim, couldn't go down, pulled by Powell. Powell dishes it back, battle for it, that out of bounds. That will be Huron's ball with 3:26 left to go here in this, the first. 5-5 is our score. Jackson Kiefer back in for Huron. Issa brings it ahead. Issa has Sampa watching him. Issa over half court, moves it over to Jackson Kiefer. Jackson Kiefer over on the far sideline to Moore. Moore comes top of the key. Moore hands it off to Caleb Brown. Caleb Brown trying to back in that loose. Freisteller gets the loose ball. Freisteller brings it ahead. Freisteller on the far sideline to Sampa. Sampa makes a nifty move to Freisteller underneath. That goes off the bottom of the backboard, but a whistle and a foul. With 2:58 left to go here in the first. Freisteller to the line. Did not see who they called for that foul, but we'll figure it out. That up and in by Freisteller. So Freisteller has 3 points. Latham back in for Huron. Jaden Kiefer in as well. Lyle in for Pioneer. And Strauss as well. Second one rattles around and in. Touched every bit of the rim before going down for Freisteller. He has 4, and it's 7-5. Pioneer with the 2-point lead. Issa brings it ahead as Latham has it over to Jaden Kiefer. Jaden Kiefer on the near wing top. Over, there's a 3-pointer by Latham. Wouldn't go, and that is a foul underneath.
I just wanted to point out
please.
Those 2 free throws by Freisteller was a result of a good defense. It was a deflection, turned into a turnover, and he got to the line for 2 free throws.
Underneath the Moore, that off the rim, pulling it down is Strauss. Strauss over to Sampa. Sampa down the far sideline. For Pioneer, Sampa steps back, moves it over to Freisteller on the far wing. Freisteller works his way to the far elbow. Freisteller gets it back to Lyle. Lyle on the baseline, bounce pass to Mutinda underneath. That's stripped by Latham coming the other direction. Here comes Issa. Issa down the far sideline for Huron. Issa gets it over to Latham. Quick pass underneath as Caleb Brown goes up. He can't make the basket, but he got fouled as that was a foul created by good ball movement.
And I think that's good defense, like we keep emphasizing. They don't want to give up points in the paint, and they were just tested there, and why not use a foul?
Indeed. First shot is off the back of the rim. Strauss picked up the foul. One more shot coming for Caleb Brown. He has a chance to get down to a 1-point game. That up and off the back of the rim, pulled down by Latham, but a whistle and a push off. So Strauss gets called for the push off. That's going to maintain Huron with the ball. Pioneer now with 4 fouls. The next one is going to put Huron shooting at the line with 2:12 left to go here in the first quarter. So Pioneer already close to putting Huron in the bonus. That all the way back. Latham has it on the far wing. Latham hands it off as Moore just inside of half court. Moore to the free throw line. Moore underneath. That's going to be a jump ball, and Pioneer gets it. Freisteller inbound, baseline right, gets it over to Sampa. Sampa brings it ahead. 2:02 left to go here in the first quarter. Sampa working against Issa over half court. Sampa now over to Mutinda. Mutinda hands it off to Powell. Powell over on the near wing to Sampa. Sampa bounce pass, trying to get to Freisteller on the baseline. Now over to Powell on the near wing. Powell works his way around. 1:44 left to go here in the first. Powell gets it back for 3 as that rolls off, pulled down by Moore, coming the other direction for Huron. 1:35 left to go here in the first. Moore on the near sideline, gets it over to Caleb Brown. Caleb Brown over to Issa. Issa on the far sideline, working against Sampa. Issa down the baseline. Lyle knocks it away. Out of bounds. That will be Huron's ball, but a good job by Lyle to challenge just underneath the basket. 1:24 left to go here in the first. 2-point lead by Pioneer, 7-5. Jaden Kiefer, the inbound baseline right. Jaden Kiefer gets it all the way over to Moore. Moore into the paint, spins with it, puts up the finger roll and in. So Moore gets the basket and the foul. Moore with 7 points. He has all of the Huron points so far. Moore to the line. So Moore dribbles the ball, puts it up, and he gives Huron the lead. 8 points for Moore, and it is 8-7. Huron with the lead. Here comes Sampa down the near sideline. Sampa over half court. Sampa working against Issa. Sampa gets a screen from Mutinda. Sampa to the far elbow. Gets it over on the near wing to Lyle. Lyle bounce pass to Mutinda. Mutinda works his way into the paint, puts it up with a hook, but a whistle underneath the basket with 1:05 left to go. That's going to be Latham with the foul. That is 3 fouls on Huron, 5 on Pioneer. Sampa skies it over. Freisteller on the near wing. Over to Mutinda. Mutinda gets it back to Sampa. Sampa now on the far sideline for Pioneer into the far corner. Powell back over to Lyle. Lyle on the far wing. Lyle to the free throw line trying to drive down, and that is going to be a offensive foul on Pioneer as Lyle picks up the foul. 51.8 seconds left to go here in the first. 1 point lead by Huron. Already with 2 lead changes here in the early quarter. As bringing it in, here comes Moore. Moore comes ahead over half court for Huron. Moore, top of the key, gets a screen. Moore dishes it off, stolen away by Powell. Powell brings it in for Pioneer. Powell, that out of bounds. That will stay Pioneer ball with 40.8 seconds left to go. Now Sampa, the inbound baseline left for Pioneers. Sampa. And that's stolen away by Issa. Issa quickly ahead. Here comes Moore. Moore into the paint. Moore stuffs it down. He has 10 points, and it's 10-7. 3-point lead by Huron with 30 seconds left to go in the first. Sampa over half court. Sampa calling out signals. Sampa now looks over to Coach. Coach gives him the play. Sampa now trying to make sure he has everything set. Sampa down on the near wing. Sampa. Mutinda comes over for a screen. Sampa on the far wing. Sampa. Far elbow over to Freisteller. Freisteller into the near corner. Lyle for 3. Off the rim. Trying to pull it down. Freisteller with it, and he gets the foul with 1.3 seconds left to go.
Well, hats off to Freisteller. He's in the right place at the right time. When that shot went up, he went to the middle of the paint. Got both hands on the ball. Didn't bring it down. Got a shot off. He was fouled by 2 players.
Indeed. Good place on the court to be and good hustle to get there. Freisteller puts up the first one up and in. Freisteller has 5 points. It gets it down to a 2-point game. One more for Freisteller, trying to make it a 1-point game with 1.3 left. He hits them both. Freisteller with 6. It's 10-9. Huron with the lead. Moore. Oh boy. For over a half-court shot, that was a lot closer than I could ever get. It was off the backcourt. So 10-9 early on. What are your thoughts here, Coach?
Well, great first quarter.
Indeed.
Man, Moore is out to a great start, but I like what Coach Marion's doing. 3 different people have guarded him in this first quarter. Most recently was Nelson, or Lyle Morgan, I believe. And he did a great job in the game at Huron when I saw that game. So I think that's a smart move to mix up defense on players that are playing real well. And also, Pioneers' defense in the paint's been pretty good. They've kept them under their average. They have 10 points, and they average scoring 16.2 a quarter this season.
So good defense by both teams there. Now, can that really kind of throw you when you have different defenders kind of giving you different looks as an offensive player? That kind of makes you think about it for a second?
Exactly, yeah, because every defender, different size, different speed. So good offensive players can adjust, but they have to stop and think.
Indeed. Pioneer 4 for 4 for free throws or from the field goals. 3 for 5 for Huron racing ahead. Issa gets it over on the far side to Latham. Latham gets it over to Caleb Brown. Being watched by Powell. Gets his screen from Latham. Now over on the near wing. Issa has it. Issa gets it underneath as Moore puts it up and tips it. Still popcorning down behind. Powell trying to get to it. Both players down on the ground. Powell and Caleb Brown ended up hitting the deck. That's going to be Pioneers' ball as both of these squads really hustling. You see those hustle plays and points by both of these teams. Here comes Sampa ahead with 7:30 left to go, down by 1. Pioneer with the ball. It's here on 10. Pioneer 9. Sampa on the far wing. Sampa steps back on the far sideline. Screen from Freisteller into the near corner as Lyle has it. Lyle screen from Freisteller, top of the key. Over to Powell on the far sideline. Powell comes top of the key. Powell down the far side of the paint, puts up and wouldn't go. Rolled off the near side with the hook. Here comes Huron down the far sideline. Moore has it. Moore over to Jackson Kiefer. That one wouldn't go. Ball rebounded by Sampa. Pioneer again down by 1, 10-9 with 6:55 left to go. Sampa hands it off to Freisteller. Freisteller thought about it, top of the key, now moves it over to Lyle on the near wing. Lyle working against Moore, over to Sampa on the far sideline. Sampa down the baseline, and they'll say he stepped on the baseline. Out of bounds, that will be, no, that's foul. As Christian in. Sampa to inbound, baseline left. That over to Freisteller, wouldn't go. Sampa knocks it out, coming the other direction. As up Christian Brown trying to put it in, and foul underneath. They'll have to earn those from the line. So Powell picks up his first foul. One foul on each team. That puts Christian Brown to the line, shooting 2, trying to make it a 3-point lead. First one is up and off the back of the rim by Christian Brown. He'll get one more. 6:34 left to go here in the second in a fast-paced game. Brown puts it up. Christian Brown, and nothing but net on that one. Christian Brown with the first points for anyone but Moore for Huron. It's 11-9. Huron by 2. Sampa for Pioneer over half court. Sampa on the near wing. Works back with it. Sampa gets it over to Freisteller on the near wing. Freisteller top of the key over to Lee. On the far side, Treat has it. Treat over to Lyle, down the far side of the paint, up, and that's going to be a goaltend. As that ball was coming down, that will be Lyle with the points, I believe. As that makes it 11-11. We're all tied up at 6:13 left to go. How hard is it when you're underneath the basket trying to block something to kind of tell it's coming down like that for a goaltend?
That's very, very difficult, and most players don't practice that. But that's like a lot of things. Big men should practice blocking shots.
Coming in, that put up by Latham, off the rim, pulled down by Freisteller. Freisteller moves it down the far side, coming ahead Lyle. Lyle for Pioneer, all tied up. Lyle dishes it off into the near corner. That put up by Harrison, up and in. Harrison has 5 points, and Pioneer with a 2-point lead, 13-11, with 5:39 left to go. Timeout call.
Addressing that block shot, I learned several years ago at a clinic. Hubie Brown had one simple drill.
Yeah.
And I would have my bigs practice blocking shots, and just this one drill for a couple of minutes, a couple times a week. Mm-hmm. And the main thing he was trying to get out of that is blocking a shot without fouling someone.
Yes, absolutely. Because it's really easy with the follow through in the body to end up on top of someone, and you get a foul when what should be a great defensive play going the other way.
Right, and I'll simplify that. If it's a right-hand shooter, imagine the ball in the right hand. The defender comes and tries to block it with his right hand. So his body is away from that shooter.
There you go.
So the body's not going to make the contact most of the time.
That's smart. Latham has it over on the near wing to Moore. Moore has been very dangerous on the baseline inside near corner. Lyle trying to blanket him. Moore puts it up and in. Despite really good coverage, Moore with 12, and it's 13-13. Lyle brings it ahead for Pioneer over to Freisteller. 5:14 left to go. Lyle down the far sideline. Lyle on the far wing. Picks up the dribble. That tipped away out of bounds. Huron ball with 5:07 left to go. Huron to inbound baseline left right in front of the Huron cheer team. Bringing it ahead is Christian Brown. Christian Brown right at the blockades. Christian Brown gets over half court. And over to Moore. Moore works his way. Lyle watching him over on the near wing. Moore comes. Moore making his way into paint. That dished off. Treat got in the way of it. Good job to get in the passing lane, but he couldn't quite keep it in bounds. As that will be Huron to inbound baseline right. As Jackson Kiefer gets it. And over on the near wing, Jackson Kiefer into the near sideline. Latham underneath. Now that over, Jackson Kiefer for three. Off the rim, pulled down. Lee with it for Pioneer. Lee bringing it ahead. Here comes Lyle over half court for Pioneer. Still knotted up, 13 apiece. As Harrison into the paint, puts up a hook and in. Harrison for 7 points, and it's 15-13. Pioneer by 2. Caleb Brown brings it ahead for Huron. He gets over half court. Treat picks him up there. Now moves it over to Jackson Kiefer. On the far sideline, Christian Brown with it. Christian Brown over to Latham. Latham on the far wing. Latham looking back over to Christian Brown just inside of half court. Jackson Kiefer on the near wing. Over to Moore. Moore on the near sideline. Lyle watching him. Screen by Latham. Lyle works through it. Now Christian Brown all the way cross-court pass. Three-pointer wouldn't go. Freisteller with the rebound over to Lyle. Pioneer by 2, 15-13. They have the ball. Lyle on the near wing. Hands it off to Harrison. Back to Freisteller. Back to Harrison on the far wing. Harrison over to Treat now. Dished off. Lyle for three. That off the rim. Trying to pull it down. Lyle trying to get that rebound back. Battle for it on the baseline. That will be Huron's ball. 3:33 left to go here in a second in a game that feels like it's moving super fast. Is Huron to bring it ahead. Moore down the near sideline over midcourt. Lyle picks him up there. Over on the far wing, Jaden Kiefer gets it over to, as there is a collision. And Harrison went down. That's going to be an offensive foul. Moore picks up the foul. That's his first foul. 3:23 left to go here in the second. 15-13. Pioneer with the lead. Over to Harrison in the near corner. Harrison into the paint. Bounce pass. Trying to get to Mutinda. That out of bounds. As Mutinda not expecting it. Trying to get to it just out of his reach. Huron with the ball. Pioneer with the 2-point lead. 3:15 left to go. Bringing ahead, Christian Brown over to Latham. Now on the near wing, Caleb Brown. Caleb Brown working against Harrison. Caleb Brown trying to get into the paint. He goes down. Sampa with the rebound. Or Sampa gets that. Coming ahead, Harrison on the near wing. Harrison. Bounce pass on the baseline. Mutinda backs his way in. Bounces around and in. Mutinda with his first points of the game. Huge 2 points in the paint. And it's 17-13. 4-point lead by Pioneer. Moore brings it ahead over half court for the River Rats. Moore on the near wing. He gets a screen from Latham. Lyle working through it over Jaden Kiefer for three. That from downtown. Tipped back. Loose ball grabbed by Sampa. Pioneer coming the other direction with a 4-point lead. Freisteller for three. That one off the rim. Moore gets the rebound. Moore on the baseline. Good move not to step out by Moore. 2:23 left to go before halftime. Moore calls out signals. Pioneer 17. Huron 13. Latham has it on the near wing. Latham into the near elbow. Back to Moore. There's a whistle and a foul underneath. That is going to be on Lyle. Lyle picks up his second foul. Oh, they say that's his first. I'm pretty sure it's his second. We'll figure out, as John typically reads out the fouls at halftime. As Latham gets it into the backcourt to Issa. As Treat watching him, Issa over half court. Issa to the free throw line. Issa at the far elbow, stolen away by Treat. Treat the other direction for Pioneer. Here comes Harrison. Harrison puts it up. Collision underneath as he tried to go down. He was in the air. Huron player down. Slow to get up. We hope he's all right. As that was underneath. I think that was Christian. No, that was Moore. That is going to be Moore's second foul. That could be big. Harrison to the line, trying to get it up to a 6-point lead with 1:59 left to go in the second. First shot by Harrison is up and falls off to the near side. One more coming for Harrison, trying to make it 18 points. Issa goes out. As it is Tinkham in for Huron. Harrison puts up the second shot off the rim, tipped back grabbed down by Christian Brown. Christian Brown brings it ahead. Christian Brown for Huron. Pioneer up 17-13, Huron with the ball. Now over Jaden Kiefer on the far sideline. Jaden Kiefer gets it to Moore. Moore being watched by Harrison. Harrison trying to work through traffic. Moore into that, stolen away. His pass stolen away by Freistiller. 1:40 left to go. Before halftime, Freistiller brings it over to Sampa. Sampa thought about it now. Sampa skies it all the way over that. Trying to get to Treat. Now Mutinda has it up and in. Mutinda now has 4 points and a whistle underneath. That makes it 19-13. Latham picks up his second foul. Mutinda to the line, trying to make it a 3-point play. Again, important points in the paint for Pioneer. Mutinda puts it up. That rattles around, wouldn't go. Pulled down by Latham, and here comes Huron. 19-13, 6-point lead by Pioneer. Christian Brown has it over Jaden Kiefer, over on the near wing, over to Moore. Moore gets a screen. Now Jaden Kiefer over on the far wing. At back, Tinkham gets it back to Jaden Kiefer. Jaden Kiefer puts up the shot off the glass and in. So Jaden Kiefer with his first points. And it's 19-15, 4-point lead by Pioneer. They have the ball. Harrison gets it over to Freistiller. Freistiller hands it back off to Harrison. Harrison, top of the key. Harrison over on the far wing, gets it over to Treat. Treat back on the blockades. Moore watching him. Gets it back to Harrison. Harrison on that far wing. Screen from Mutinda. Now Harrison down the far sideline. 37 seconds left to go. Harrison has picked up his dribble back over to Sampa right in front of the scorer's bench. Sampa dribbles to his left. Sampa, top of the key. Sampa over to Treat. Now dishes off to Freistiller in the far corner. 22 seconds left to go. Freistiller into the paint. Double team. That tipped away. Racing back to get it. Sampa in the way, and he and Moore collide. Sampa, it looked like he might have accidentally gotten Moore's eye. Moore went down to the floor. We hope he's all right. Moore still down as Sampa went for the ball. I think he got Moore's face. Moore slow to get up as he kind of collapsed back behind the baseline. He is getting up. We hope he's all right. We don't want to see any of these people injured. As Coach DeWolf actually over, trying to make sure he's all, or no, excuse me, that was not Coach DeWolf. That was one of the Huron coaches. Moore is up. He looks like he's all right. So we're glad to see 13.9 seconds left to go. You don't want to see any of these players injured. And we'll see what happens. I don't think there was anything flagrant about that with Sampa. He was just trying to go for the ball and got the face, but that's definitely going to be a foul on Sampa. That would be in the act of driving. So you would assume more to the line. No, that's going to be, they'll say he was in the act of driving, haven't shot yet. So Huron to inbound, gets it over to Jaden Kiefer. Now Latham on the near wing. Latham hands it off to Christian Brown. Christian Brown top of the key. Christian Brown coming down, puts it up. That rattles around, wouldn't go. Latham with the rebound, up and in with 0.5 seconds left to go. Latham with 2 points, and it is 19 to 17 at the end of the first. It was a 1 point lead by Huron at the end of the first. At the end of the second, it's a 2 point lead for Pioneer. Pioneer had it up to a 6 point lead, but Huron was able to come back. What are your thoughts about that first half there, Coach?
Well, man, they're going toe-to-toe, offensively
Indeed.
and defensively, and substitution patterns are looking good, getting different matchups, different defensive assignments. Looks like both teams are sticking to their game plan. From what I heard in the pregame interviews, I think Pioneer's transition, if from offense to defense gets going, that could turn into a lot of quick points. And in the recent minutes, they've got to the free throw line. And these free throws are important. I don't know what the percentages are right now, but they're in a game like this, every free throw is important.
Absolutely.
I think Matinda's got to get going, man. He's a key, and the second quarter was much better than the first quarter for him. He's went to the rim strong a couple times, and he not only helps with scoring, but the rebounding too.
Absolutely. Points in the paint, huge for both of these teams. A big battle out there. No one in huge foul trouble as of yet. Latham with 2 fouls and Moore with 2 fouls. The lead for points is Moore. Moore has 12 points already. He just has 2 points for Latham, 2 points for Jaden Kiefer, and 1 for Christian Brown on Huron side. On the Pioneer side, 6 for Freisteller, 7 for Harrison, 2 for Lyle, and 4 for Mutinda.
And keep in mind, Moore has 12, and I've seen 3 different people assigned to him. And all 3, I think, are doing a good job. Those were not easy points for him.
Absolutely.
He's had to earn those points. Toe-to-toe stats, we have okay, I'm wrong place here. Here we go.
I feel that way constantly.
I mean, I'm in the right place at the table in the middle chair, but on the stat sheet.
I understand that.
Huron's edged them in rebounding, 12 to 11. Free throws, both teams are 4 of 7. Huron has 6 turnovers, Pioneers 3. That's pretty good for both teams, but that 3 for Pioneer, coach has got to be pleased with that.
That is outstanding.
The war in the paint is pretty close again. Pioneer has a slight edge, 10 to 8, and both benches have contributed 2 points each. And the teams have only made 1 3-point field goal thus far.
It's been a war down low, not as much 3-point shooting as we might have seen in other games. We'll see if that gets going a bit later. Now, you were saying that you pulled up some rankings, and this Huron team is actually ranked in the top 10, I believe.
Well, I got a couple. First, I'm going to do the Detroit Free Press rankings. That just came out. It's boys and girls and broken down in divisions. And I'm just going to mention the area teams. In Division 1, Ann Arbor Huron is ranked 6th, and they're 15-2, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
And the team above them I'm very familiar with. Number 5 is Muskegon, where I coached for 10 years in the men and women's program. And I know Coach Guy is real pleased with his team. He's got a good big man and a good guard and a lot of depth this year, and they play a tough schedule. Also in Division 1, 10th is Saline, who's 15-3.
Indeed.
And Division 2 boys, the team we have in that division is number 10 is Chelsea, who's 12-5. And Chelsea, it's debatable, but first half of the season they played probably the toughest schedule in the state.
Sure, yeah.
Moving over to the girls in Division 1, Belleville is ranked 3rd at 15-1. Temperance Bedford, a member of this conference,
Indeed,
is ranked 6th, and they have a record of 13-1. Girls Division 2, Ann Arbor Richard is number 1 in the state at 18-0.
Wow.
And Division 3 for girls, Ypsilanti Arbor Prep is ranked number 1. They're 14-2. A very good team. I saw them play last year a couple of times, and all the girls came back. I think they lost one senior.
They're a good team consistently, at least the last several years since I've been doing this. They've been up at the top a lot.
And they play a tough schedule.
Yeah.
Well, Mick McCabe, longtime Free Press writer, comes up with the Super 10s every once in a while. So he did it yesterday's paper, I believe, boys and girls in the top 10. Ann Arbor Hurons 9th at 15-2. Number 1 team is Orchard Lake St. Mary's, who is 17-1. Number 2 is Detroit Cass Tech, who's also 17-1. The girls, number 1 team is West Bloomfield, who's 15-1.
Sure.
Who have twin sisters that are just amazing. Number 4 is Ann Arbor Richard at 18-0. And number 9, Ypsilanti Arbor Prep, again, is in the top 10.
Lots and lots of good basketball around here, and the SEC is especially the men's SEC is really, really competitive and really strong this season.
Yes.
So let's do the you make the call. You want to read this, Coach, and we'll see how close I can get here.
You want me to wait till you put on the stripes? You want to put on the shirt before you make the call?
People just ask me for shoe advice like I work at Foot Locker, so I worked at Famous Footwear. We'll leave that alone. Anyway.
Okay. Well, here's a scenario. It's real simple today. When must an official give a visual count? Now, you know what I mean by a visual count.
Doing the little as you see them kind of take their arm and put it out and back.
Yes. You bend at the elbow, and most officials I know practice that. It's not easy to visually count and be accurate.
Yeah.
Okay, so when must an official give a visual count? Is it A, 10-second backcourt count, B, the 5-second closely guarded count, which we've seen a lot right in front of our table tonight.
Indeed.
And C, 5-second inbound count, or all the above?
Good question. So we'll step away for one moment. We'll play a couple messages from the MHSAA, and then we will come back and we'll take a look and do a quick scoreboard report and get you the answer. You're watching Pioneer Men's Varsity Basketball, brought to you by Arbor Broadcasting.
Here are 5 more good reasons for multi-sport participation. Multi-sport athletes are more coachable. They have higher athletic ceilings. They become better talent in the long run. They have higher sports IQs. Their sports skills transfer, and they are better teammates. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Here are 5 good reasons for high school multi-sport participation. Fewer overuse injuries, less opportunity for emotional burnout, exposure to different kids and coaches, exposure to different roles, and learning to compete better. Being a multi-sport participant can help a kid become a more well-rounded person. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
And now for your MHSAA SEC Red Scoreboard Report. Back on February 6th, it was Huron and Temperance Bedford. Huron beat Temperance Bedford 71-47. It was Saline beating Monroe 59-46. And in triple overtime, it was Ypsilanti Lincoln beating Dexter 69-64. On February 7th, it was Skyline beating Monroe 65-44. And on February 9th, Huron beat Skyline 58-42. Monroe beat Dexter 43-38. It was Saline beating Pioneer 67-49, and Ypsilanti Lincoln beating Temperance Bedford 56-46. That is your intermission scoreboard report. So let's get back and let's do the you make the call again and see as if you want to read the you make the call one more time, and let's see what I can do about that, and let me pull you up because there, Mike being on is important.
Well, all 3 officials got it right again tonight in the pregame.
Excellent.
When must an official give a visual count? Is it A, 10-second backcourt or backcourt count, B, 5-second closely guarded count. C, 5-second inbound count. All of the above.
I've definitely seen on the backcourt. I don't pay enough attention to when they do it, but I'm going to go for D, all of the above.
You are correct.
There you go. Absolutely.
That is a required mechanic that all officials have to present to players and coaches, and it's not easy as it sounds.
No, not at all. But you want something, because everyone can do a 5-second count differently in their head. You want, kind of that official doing that motion so you know how long you have. And it's important, but something that if you don't play, you probably don't pay attention to. As that is brought ahead, here comes Sampa. Sampa brings it over half court for Pioneer. Pioneer up by 2. Mutinda moves it over to Powell. Powell over to Freisteller. Now Sampa on the far sideline. Sampa works his way around the arc over to Harrison. Harrison bounce pass underneath Mutinda. Mutinda in the paint. Puts it up and in with the hook. Mutinda with 6 points. And it's 21-17. 4-point lead by Pioneer. 7:33 left to go. As that's brought up over on the near wing is Caleb Brown over to Moore. Tipped away by Mutinda. As that's bounced. Pioneer ball. As Pioneer to inbound, baseline left, Freisteller inbounds it. Now coming ahead, Sampa with it. Sampa now gets over half court. Sampa comes over on the near wing to Freisteller, and there's a whistle underneath. That's going to be an offensive foul. Looks like Powell's going to pick up the foul. .709 left to go. Jackson Kiefer to inbound, baseline right. Pioneer up by 4 with 7:09 left to go here in the third, but Huron with the ball as Moore brings it ahead. Moore over half court. Now coming, gets it over on the near wing. Grabbing it is Christian Brown. Jackson Kiefer. Now over on the far wing, Latham moves it over. Dumboya, top of the key. Dumboya. And in along the end line, out of bounds. 6:46 left to go. Strauss to inbound here in the third. Sampa brings up the far sideline. Now Harrison in the far corner. Harrison, top of the key, over to Freisteller. Freisteller at the far elbow, puts it up and puts it in. Freisteller with 8 points. And it's Pioneer 23, Huron 17, 6:27 left to go here in the third. Moore, top of the key. Moore spins with it down the near side of the paint. That is going to be a foul. Freisteller picks up his second foul. First foul of the quarter for either team. That's going to put Moore to the line. Moore has been dangerous from wherever he shoots. That one up and good by Moore. Nothing but net for him. Moore with 13 points. Trying to make it 14. Caleb Brown in for Huron. Now Moore will get it back from the official, toes the line. Moore spins the ball, eyes the rim, puts it up, and puts it in. Moore with 14 points, game high. 6:18 left to go here in the third, bringing it ahead. Sampa over to Strauss. Strauss gets it back to Sampa. Sampa down the far sideline, hands it off. Now Strauss on the far wing, bounce pass underneath. Freisteller puts it up off glass, wouldn't go. Tipping it, Freisteller with his own rebound. Freisteller, that batted away, coming the other direction. Here comes Dumboya. Dumboya gets it over to Moore. Moore, that put up and in by Dumboya. Dumboya, his first points. As whistle, and Pioneer wants to talk it over. 23-21. Pioneer with the 2-point lead, but Huron with a couple good possessions, and they've able to get it back down within 2.
That's an amazing stat for Moore, scoring 14 of the team's first 23 points.
Absolutely.
And like you said, he's getting them from the line and from the perimeter. And the transition game just got this lead for Huron.
And they continue to push the play, and they continue to not let Pioneer get comfortable in their defense.
Correct.
And they're forcing them to react really quickly.
Correct.
And Pioneer with 2 fouls now in this quarter, none for Huron. We'll see if that comes into play. 5:46 left to go, and just this game seems to be blowing past. It's moving fast. Not just the players, but the clock. Here comes Sampa down the far sideline over half court. Sampa has him. Pioneer with the 2-point lead. Over to Mutinda. Mutinda coming down the far side of the paint. Contact made. Mutinda picks up the foul, or he causes the foul. Looks like Fry picks up the foul. Is Fry even in? I'm going to think that was Mutinda, or Dumboya, excuse me. That moved over. Freisteller has it. Freisteller, top of the key. Freisteller moves it over to Sampa on the far sideline. Sampa. Now over to Harrison. Harrison on the far wing. Over to Strauss. Strauss works his way to the free throw line. Strauss down the paint, puts it up, wouldn't go. Hit both sides of the rim, pulled down by Latham. Huron with a chance to tie or take the lead. 5:09 left to go. There's a three-pointer by Jackson Kiefer as that goes out of bounds off of Huron as that one falls short, and that will be Pioneer ball with 5:04 left to go. Sampa brings it up the far sideline, being watched there by Christian Brown. Sampa over half court. Pioneer 23, Huron 21, 4:53 left to go here in the third. Strauss over on the far sideline, back to Sampa, down to Freisteller on the baseline. Freisteller spins, puts it up, that off the rim, trying to pull it down. Bounce pass over to Moore. Moore races ahead with it for Huron. Down by 2. Moore into the paint, puts it up. That rolls around in, and the foul. Moore now with 16 points. An opportunity to take the lead from the line. That's going to be Sampa who picks up the foul. That is his second, I believe. Moore to the line as he continues his outstanding performance for the River Rats. Moore spins the ball, puts it up. That one falls away. One of the few misses he's made today. Here comes Freisteller for Pioneer. We're all tied up at 23 apiece. Freisteller over to Sampa, top of the key. Sampa comes over on the near wing. Into the near corner for Strauss. Strauss works his way around the arc, back to Sampa. Sampa now trying to get it underneath Mutinda. That's stolen away. Here comes Huron the other direction. As moved over, Caleb Brown got it over to Moore. Moore dishes off into the near corner. Jackson Kiefer for 3. That wouldn't go. Tip back as put up by Latham and in. Big offensive rebound for Huron, and they take the 2-point lead. Strauss over half court for Pioneer. Pioneer down by 2. That's over and back. As Jackson Kiefer to inbound right in front of us. A rare mental mistake for Pioneer there causes a turnover. That skied all the way back to Moore in the backcourt. 3:53 left to go here in the third. Huron by 2. Pioneer had the 2-point lead at halftime. Moore coming down the far side. Moore into the far corner. And put up by Christian Brown. Off the rim, pulled down by Sampa. Sampa for Pioneer brings it ahead with 3:37 left to go. Down by 2. Sampa, top of the key. Over to Harrison on the near wing. 2. Mutinda now back to Sampa for 3. Oh, that rolls off. Freisteller with the rebound. He goes down to the court. Whistle blown. Caleb Brown picks up his first foul. 3 on Pioneer, 2 on Huron. Pioneer to inbound, baseline right. Sampa all the way out to Strauss. Strauss on the far wing. Bounce pass to Mutinda at the free throw line. Back to Sampa. Sampa now works his way around the arc. Christian Brown working on Sampa. Now there's a whistle. Christian Brown pleading his case. Now that's going to be 3 fouls on Pioneer, 3 fouls on Huron. Strauss on the near wing, top of the key. Strauss, bounce pass over to Mutinda at the far elbow. Mutinda into the paint, spins, puts it up, puts it in. Big points by Mutinda in the paint. He has 8. We're all knotted up at 25 apiece. 2:59 left to go. Here in the third, Moore over half court for Huron. Harrison watching him. Moore working his way on the near wing, trying to get into the paint. Moore puts it up, off glass, in. Moore with 18 points. Strauss picks up the foul. That's going to be the third foul on Strauss. He looked a little mystified by that in the middle. 2:46 left to go here in the third, 27-25. Moore trying to make it a 3-point lead. He spins the ball, puts it up, puts it in. Moore with a game-high 19 points. Now Pioneer down by 3. Sampa brings it ahead for Pioneer. Being watched by Christian Brown in the backcourt. Sampa over on the far sideline to Lyle. Lyle over to Freisteller. Freisteller down the near side of the paint. Dishes it off. Powell for 3, and he hits it. Huge three-pointer by Powell. And now it is tied back up, 28-28. Huron with the ball, 2:20 left to go. Working his way more into the paint. That off the glass. Again, rare miss. And picked up by Sampa, bringing it ahead. Skied all the way over. Here comes Lyle. That blocked. But that is going to be a goaltend. Lyle gets the points. Strangely enough, I think both of Lyle's points were on goaltending, but that's okay.
Boy, what a pass.
Oh, yeah. Long, beautiful pass over to Lyle.
What a pass. High. I caught it high. Laid it off the backboard.
Under 2 minutes left to go here in the third. Pioneer by 2. Bounce pass as Latham gets it over. Moore loses his footing. That's going to be a travel as he slipped down. He's slow to get up, but he looks like he's all right. If I slipped like that, I'd be limping for 2 weeks, but that's okay. That's why I'm here on the microphone. 1:53 left to go here in the third. 30-28 Pioneer with the lead and the ball. As this has been a true battle between both of these. Coming down on the far sideline. Sampa has it. Sampa over to Freisteller. Freisteller. Bounce pass over to Mutinda on the baseline. Mutinda puts it up and in. Big shot by Mutinda. He has 10. And it's a 4-point lead by Pioneer. 1:30 left to go here in the third. 32-28. Huron has it over half court. Moore with it there. Lyle goes to pick him up. Moore comes to the free throw line, moves it over on the far wing to Latham. Latham steps back, puts up a jumper, wouldn't go. Sampa with the rebound. Sampa brings it ahead. Sampa over half court for Pioneer. Sampa hands it off to Lyle. Lyle over to Freisteller, back to Lyle. Lyle on the near wing. Lyle working against Moore. Back over to Powell. Powell down over to Lyle on the near wing. Lyle for 3. Lyle hits a huge three-pointer. He has 7, and it's 35-28. 7-point lead for Pioneer with 52 seconds left to go in the third. Moore brings it ahead for Huron. Moore calling out signals as you can hear this crowd cheering on both teams. Moore into the paint. There's a whistle, and that is going to be a Pioneer foul as they close down. Did not see who got that foul. Probably Harrison. Trying to figure out. It was the person's second foul. But I don't see Harrison in it right now. Moore to the line. Puts up the first shot. Nothing but net on that one. Moore with 20 points. Opportunity to make it 25. Moore trying to get it down to a 5-point game. Hayward and Baker in for Huron. Moore with one more shot coming. 39.3 seconds left to go. Moore to the line, trying to get down to a 5-point lead, and he does. Moore with 21 points. 39.3 seconds left to go. Pioneer 35, Huron 30. Full court pressure by Huron. Freisteller moves it over to Powell. Powell on the near wing. Powell into the paint, as that is going to be a foul underneath. I think that is going to be Baker picking up his first foul. That is going to put Powell to the line. Both teams in the bonus, both with 5 fouls. Powell trying to get it back to a 7-point game. Jaden Kiefer set to check in. Powell hits the first one. 4 points for Powell, trying to make it 5. As Jordan Harrison in for Pioneer, Lyle gets a breather. As that next one up and good by Powell, back to a 7-point lead, 37-30, 30.7 seconds left to go. Bringing ahead is Moore, over half court for Huron. Moore calls out. He'll have Caleb Brown over to the far side. Moore, bounce pass over to Caleb Moore. Caleb Moore gets it back over to Christian Moore. Now coming down, spinning. Moore puts it up off the back. As that rebound pulled down by Powell. Powell quickly had to Mutinda. Mutinda into the paint. Mutinda puts it up, rattles around, home. No basket called. Blocking foul. I think that's going to be a blocking foul on Baker. We will see. It's going to be on Baker. That's his second. Mutinda to the line, trying to make it a 9-point lead. Hits the first one. As that's 11 points for Mutinda. He leads all Pioneer scores. He has an opportunity to make it 12 here. Mutinda eyes the rim. Dribbles the ball. Now bends the knees, puts it up, puts it in. Huge free throws for Mutinda. He has 12. 39-30. Pioneer by 9. Moore quickly ahead. 3 seconds left. 1 second. Moore puts up the three-pointer. Would not go. And Pioneer has a 9-point lead at the end of the third. What did Pioneer do so well to get that streak going towards the end of that third period there, Coach?
Well, what I mentioned earlier, Mutinda's got to get rolling. And man, he did. He did offensively and defensively, and that was a big factor, and the momentum has switched. But Huron, they've had 3 different players defend him, and Lyle had to go out. I think he has 3 fouls, but I would expect he'll be back in.
Indeed. He's probably been the most successful. They have used a number of people on Moore. You can only slow him down so far.
Correct. And he plays so physical. You know, he welcomes the contact.
Yes.
Has to be careful with the reaching at times so he doesn't pick up that cheap foul. But Moore knows somebody's there. Even though Moore's got a few inches on him, Lyle's up into his body with his hands and making him work for that. Yeah, unfortunately, he's a good free throw shooter, and he's going to get his points one way or another.
Absolutely.
But in the pregame, Marion mentioned getting a good start in both halves. After the first 4 minutes, the score was 5-6, so it was a good, even, balanced start.
As that moved over in along the near wing, Issa has it. Issa gets it over to Dumboy, and now back to Moore. Moore, top of the key, puts it up for 3, and he hits it. Oh, boy, not only from the inside. Moore now has 24 points, and it's 39-33. 6-point lead for Pioneer. Sampa brings it in for Pioneer. Over half court, down the far sideline, over to Strauss. Strauss gets it, top of the key, over to Harrison. Harrison into the paint for Powell. Powell, step back, hits it. Really good step back jump shot for 7 points for Powell, and it's 41-33. Pioneer with the 8-point lead. Moore now for Huron, spinning with it, gets it over to Dumboya, back to Moore. Moore down on the near side of the paint, puts it up, and tipped all the way back, grabbed Huron into the paint, as that up and in by Caleb Brown, and the foul. Caleb Brown gets his first points. It's an opportunity to make it a 3-point play by Brown. Strauss picks up his 4th foul. Strauss has to go out. Freisteller in. Caleb Brown trying to get it down to a 5-point lead by Pioneer. Caleb Brown bends the knees, puts it up, rattles it home. Caleb Brown with 3 points, and it's 41-36. Pioneer by 5. Sampa in the backcourt brings it ahead. Full court pressure by Issa. Sampa works his way over half court. Sampa now just inside of half court. Dishes it off to Lee. Lee on the near wing. Over to Powell. Powell gets it over to Freisteller on the far wing. Freisteller looking. Now moves it to Sampa on the far sideline. Sampa trying to work his way. Gets a screen from Freisteller. Sampa to the free throw line. Puts it up. Rattles around. Wouldn't go. Freisteller trying to knock it down. That pulled down by Huron coming the other direction. Racing. Moore has it to the free throw line. Dishes it off to Caleb Brown. Up and in. And the foul. Caleb Brown has 5 points, trying to make it 6, and he has an opportunity to get it down to a 2-point game. Mutinda and Lee back in, or Lyle back in, excuse me. So Caleb Brown now at the line. Puts it up and in. Caleb Brown with 6 quick points there. They've been huge to get it down to a 2-point lead for Pioneer. Sampa brings ahead. Issa in the backcourt. Sampa now works his way to the free throw line. Sampa picks up the dribble over to Lyle. Top of the key. Lyle working against Moore, as that is going to be a reach-in, I believe. That is going to be a foul. So Moore picks up his 3rd foul with 6:08 left to go. As the officials talking things over, the foul called on 21. The Huron coach incensed. I don't know if that was an off-ball call. As Sampa brings it down the far side of the court. Sampa over to Freisteller. Freisteller for a 3, and Freisteller hits it. A huge 3-pointer. That's 11 points for Freisteller, 44-39. 5-point lead by Pioneer. Moore has it for Huron on the near wing. Moore gets it. Latham thought about the 3-pointer. Goes down the side of the paint. That block. Now Latham gets his own, Dumboya gets it. Puts it up and in. Foul. Dumboya with 4 points. Freisteller picks up the foul. That is his 3rd, I believe. Powell back in. Pioneers starting to have some foul troubles on the bigs. Strauss with 4, Freisteller with 3.
Right now for points in the paint, Huron has scored 20, Pioneer 16.
As Dumboya gets 5, and it's 44-42. Pioneer with the 2-point lead. Sampa into the front court. Heavy pressure by Christian Brown. Sampa on the far sideline, screened by Mutinda. Now on the near wing. Sampa into the near corner for Powell. Powell works his way around over to Freisteller on the near wing. Freisteller tries to shake and bake onto the near wing. Freisteller moves it back over to Powell. Powell has it tipped away but gets it back. 5:15 left to go. 2-point game. Now Lyle has it on the far wing. Screen from Freisteller. Lyle on the near elbow. Lyle trying to get to Mutinda. Mutinda, that back over to Powell. Whistle. That is going to be a foul on Latham. That is his 3rd. So there's a Huron big man with 3 fouls. Moore with 3 fouls as well. And they want to talk it over. This has been a physical game in the paint.
Well, with both teams playing man-to-man, and looks like pretty balanced matchups, even off the ball, those 4 players are moving, and there's bumping, and there's jockeying for position, and they're pretty balanced.
Indeed.
So it is a physical game, and it's going to remain that way. And you mentioned earlier, and Coach Marion did in the pregame, mental toughness is going to be a big factor.
Absolutely. As this momentum has gone back and forth, the Pioneer had up to a 6-point lead a couple times. Huron has continued to battle back, make it a tight game. Moore continues to be outstanding with 24 points. Pioneer balanced scoring. Mutinda with 12 and Freisteller with 11 leading the way. But Powell has 7, Harrison with 7, and Lyle with 7 as well. So Pioneer with 5 players with the big scoring, whereas Moore has 24. It's Dumboya with 6, 2 for Jaden Kiefer, and 6 for Caleb Brown, and 4 for Latham. Freisteller inbound on the near sideline with 5:03 left to go. Sampa has it in the backcourt. Sampa working ahead versus Christian Brown. Sampa over half court. Sampa right at the blockades, gets into Mutinda, now over to Powell. Powell works his way over to Sampa on the far sideline, over to Freisteller. Freisteller just off the paint. Freisteller works his way in, off-balance shot that put back and grabbed. Here comes Moore the other direction for Huron. Moore, opportunity to tie it up or take the lead. Moore coming down on the baseline, puts it up. That blocked by Freisteller. Moore gets it back, puts it up and in. Moore with 26 points. We're all tied up at 44 apiece. Sampa brings it down the far sideline for Pioneer. Now Freisteller with it, hands it off to Sampa. Sampa working against Christian Brown. Sampa now works his way just off of the top of the key over to Lyle. Lyle working against Moore. Screen from Mutinda. Lyle into the paint, puts it up and in. Big basket by Lyle. He has 9, and it's 46-44. 2-point lead by Pioneer with 4 minutes left to go. Lots of time left in this game. Moore over half court now. Moore, top of the key, coming down the near side of the paint. Tipped by Lyle, but Moore gets it back. Moore trying to work his way down. That is going to be a foul underneath. That's going to be on Sampa. Sampa picks up his 3rd foul. That is the 4th foul on Pioneer. So 1 more on Pioneer. That is going to put Huron to the line. Huron has 2 fouls, 3:48 left to go. Moore trying to weave his way through. He hits it. He has 28, and it's 46-46. All knotted up. Powell brings it in for Pioneer as there's a timeout called. 3:36 left to go here in the 4th. And we are all knotted up. What are your observations there, Coach?
Well, I like that last play. Moore was crunched by 2 defenders. Used a pivot move to get open and got that shot off in Petrinum. He's definitely in the attack mode, and
absolutely,
he's going to get his points one way or another.
Pioneers trying to stay tight on him, but foul trouble is going to maybe affect him down the line. And you just hope Coach can rotate enough players where he doesn't end up in an issue with who can cover more there.
Well, and I was going to say team defense, rotate,
yes.
team help, which you should always do anyway when someone's driving the baseline, for example, collapse on the ball. And you're going to probably leave someone open, but you try to make it as difficult as possible to make that pass, put pressure on the ball. So, yeah, defense and mental toughness are going to be key factors for both teams coming down the stretch.
Sampa has it in the backcourt. It is as good as advertised. All tied up, 46 apiece. Sampa over half court on the far sideline. Sampa now on the far wing. Over to Mutinda, top of the key. Now here comes Powell, working his way around. Freisteller back to Sampa. Sampa on that far sideline, working against Christian Brown. And moves it over to Powell on the far wing. Powell over to Freisteller, top of the key. Freisteller dribbles to his right, gets it back over to Sampa. Sampa, screen from Freisteller. Sampa, there's a long 2-pointer that tipped. Sampa gets his own rebound. That's big. Every offensive rebound is huge. Now Freisteller into the paint, puts it up as that was knocked, and that will be a foul. That's going to be on Latham. I believe that is his 4th foul.
Freisteller attacked the rim very strong. He saw the gap there. One dribble, one big step. He's getting better at keeping the ball high and protecting it.
First one is a miss by Freisteller. Chance to try and break this tie. One more coming for Freisteller. He puts it up, puts it in. Nothing but net on that one. Freisteller tied with the team high lead for 12. 2:52 left to go here in the 4th. As Moore has it over half court. Moore on the near wing. Moore trying to make his way into the paint. Moore puts it up. And between 3 players, Moore still gets his. And he now has 30 points. It is 48-47. Huron with the 1-point lead. Sampa brings it ahead. Sampa over half court down the far sideline. Sampa gets a screen from Mutinda. Sampa down the near sideline, puts it up. That blocks. Sampa ends up on the court as the Huron fans not liking it, but the body got into Sampa. .222 left to go as I'm going to try and talk to keep some of the words behind us off air. Sampa to the line. His coach having his say over on the far sideline. Now Jackson Kiefer in. Dimboya coming out. Sampa now dribbles, eyes the rim. Sampa puts it up. And rattles around and in. Big points for Sampa. That's his first point of the game. Both teams have 4 fouls. Next foul by either team puts the other team to the line. Next one by Sampa, nothing but net on that one. 49-48. Pioneer with the 1-point lead. Huron with the ball. Moore brings ahead over half court. Now Moore comes on the far wing, puts up a 3-pointer, then off the rim. Sampa with a huge rebound. Sampa brings it in. Pioneer by point. Freisteller down the far side. Freisteller with the shot from the free throw line. That rimmed off the front of the rim. Rebound there by Caleb Brown. Here comes Moore over half court. 1 minute, 52 seconds left to go. Moore on the far sideline. Moore spins with it, puts it up. That off the rim, but a whistle. Sampa with his 4th foul there. Moore at the free throw line. First is up and in. That ties the game. Moore with 31 points. 1 minute, 46 seconds left to go. Moore with an opportunity to give Huron a 1-point lead. He puts it up and puts it in. I think he's been perfect from the line. He has been outstanding. Timeout called as 50-49. Huron with the 1-point lead. Pioneer now with 5 fouls, but Huron with 4. So next foul, either team, they go to the line. What at this point are you telling your team in the huddle, trying to get this big win here with this back and forth game?
But take care of the ball and prize those possessions. Everyone's important here, and when Pioneer's being patient, that one possession, I believe I lost count at 8 passes. The offense was spread out, which spreads out the defense, and they were very patient, and I got to believe that's going to result eventually into a high percentage shot. So take care of the ball and play defense. I say don't worry about the foul. You stay between your man and the bucket and protect and communicate. If you need help, let your teammates know you need help.
Huron showed full-court pressure. Now they back off. It's Christian Brown watching Sampa. Sampa hands it over to Lyle. Lyle over to Freisteller, then gets it back. Lyle bounce pass over to Mutinda. Mutinda Backs in, spins with the ball. Mutinda looking to get it up. Mutinda all the way back over to Lyle. Lyle now on the near wing, goes down the baseline, puts it up, rattles it home. Big basket by Lyle. 11 points for him. 51-50. Pioneer with the lead with 1 minute, 15 seconds left to go. Moore over half court. Moore over to Latham. Latham dishes it off on the near wing. Back over to on the far wing. Jackson Kiefer gets it back to Moore. Moore, screen from Latham. Moore now trying at the top of the key. Moore trying to come down the far side. The paint spins with it. Puts it up, puts it in, and the foul. Moore surrounded by 3 players, still able to power that ball in despite contact.
Not just surrounded by 3 players with their hands up. 2 of them actually making some body contact. That is a tough shot. There's a good example of offensive mental toughness right there.
Absolutely. It's not like Pioneer gave him an easy basket there.
No.
More opportunity to make it a 2-point lead by Huron. Moore puts it up and puts it in. 35 points, and I'm going to run out of little circles for measuring his points here pretty quickly. I only put 36 on my sheet. He's 1 away from that in a timeout called with 50.8 seconds left to go. What do you do with trying to defend Moore where you can't really defend him much better than that, and he still gets his points in a foul?
I believe in little things. Force him to his weak hand as much as possible.
Yep.
He's got some favorite spots where he likes to attack, like from the elbows. Just maybe if you can just drive him over a half a step, move him off where he wants to be a little bit.
Sure.
A little soft body contact. You just try to make him as comfortable as possible, and hope his free throw percentage drops.
I am pretty sure it's 100% right now. I don't remember missing one, which is that puts Chauncey Billups to shame, which is not easy. So, oh, have mercy. Yeah, Moore has definitely had just an outstanding game. You got to give some amazing credit where it's due. He has played out of his mind. And again, he has 35 of Huron's 53 points. Full court pressure. Now Huron backs off as Sampa brings it ahead. Christian Brown in the backcourt. Sampa comes over half court. Sampa just inside of half court. Pioneer taking their time. Sampa dishes off. Lyle for 3. That wouldn't go. Big rebound by Latham now. Latham gets it over. Working down. There's a timeout called by Huron. 29.6 seconds left to go.
So, and this is another factor, is the shot selection.
Yeah.
With 30 seconds. I'd like my offense going to the rim.
Yeah.
A long shot means a long rebound, less percentage of getting that rebound. And if you're going to the rim, even if you don't score, you can get to the line and put some points on the board that way. So I like staying aggressive offensively. So that shot selection is critical.
And at this point, you're going to do heavy defense, but no shot clock in Michigan high school basketball. Huron could force Pioneer to foul here to try and save some clock. You assume they're going to give it to Moore and they're going to attack, but up by 2. The onus is now on Pioneer to get the turnover and have good defense. I expect tight coverage on this inbound here. Huron to inbound right in front of the Pioneer bench over on the far sideline. 29.6 seconds left to go. It can be an eternity or a single possession. Christian Brown gets it, and that goes out of bounds. That is huge. Pioneer causing the turnover as Sampa to inbound on the far sideline. That might be just a little adrenaline in that moment, making that ball go just a little further than you expect.
That's good team defense for Pioneer. All
Absolutely.
5 players took away that entry pass.
That was brilliant. As Sampa has it in the backcourt. Sampa brings it over half court. Sampa. Pioneer needs 2 points to get the tie. Freisteller on the near wing. Freisteller bounce pass to Matinda in the near corner. 18 seconds left to go. Now Powell puts up a 3, and he hits it. Oh my. Well, Powell puts Pioneer up by 1 with 7 seconds left to go. Moore has it. Moore puts up a 3. That bounces off. Sampa moves it back, and Pioneer has won. Pioneer has won. Pioneer has won as Powell gets the 3-pointer to go up by 1, and the student section comes onto the court as they're going to try and get these students cleared off. Now, the question is, was there any time left on that?
Well, I think the officials just discussed it and came to an agreement that there was not. But it was close.
It was very close. That appears to be the game. What a dynamic finish. Unbelievable. Powell putting up the 3-pointer. That gives him 13 points. And Pioneer hadn't beat Huron in 5 years, and they sweep him. Unbelievable. Huron top 10 team, and Pioneer able to come away with the win. As my unofficial stats, Mutinda with 12, Powell with 13, Freisteller with 12, 11 points for Lyle, 7 for Harrison, 2 for Sampa. On the other side, 35 for Moore, 5 for Dumboya, 6 for Caleb Brown, 4 for Latham, 1 for Christian Brown, and 2 for Jaden Kiefer. Wow, what a game. What a game.
I didn't realize you said 5 years?
I believe I read something that they had not beat Huron for 5 years.
Wow.
And swept them, and unbelievable.
Wow. Yeah, what a game. A couple quick notes, then we'll look at the toe-to-toe stats. And I mentioned this a little earlier. I thought Pioneer, when they displayed patience, the offense clicked much, much better. Hats off to Lyle again. I know you see a lot of points there for Powell, but those are hard-earned points.
Yes.
And a big, big factor, you mentioned Pioneer had a much more balanced scoring, a good team effort offensively as far as putting points on the board.
Yes.
But I thought that was really cool there. What I have, at 1:11 to go, Lyle, who was guarded by Moore, took him off the dribble and got a layup there for 2 points.
That was huge.
So he was not only playing defense, he was contributing at the offensive end as well.
Absolutely.
But Moore, man, he played aggressively. He's an explosive player. He's got a quick first step, and he's getting better and better every game.
He is outstanding. He is. It'll be interesting to see where he goes at the next level because he is a dynamic player, to say the least.
You know who had the toughest job tonight? Lyle.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Think about it. And Coach put a couple other guys on him that slowed him down a little bit. So
I mean, Harrison did a good job as well, but Lyle has a bigger frame and he can cause more friction when Moore is trying to get past. Harrison has good blanket coverage, but Lyle just has a little bit more weight to make it more difficult.
Yeah, he's strong with his lower body.
Yes.
Let's go toe to toe real quick here. Rebounds. Pioneer edged them 20-19. I just want to remind our listeners, our statistics are not 100% accurate. We do the best we can at the table.
Absolutely.
And,
same with the points I put down. Absolutely. Unofficial, but
we do the best we can.
Indeed.
At the line, free throws, Pioneer was 11 of 15 for 73%. And Huron 15 to 19, and I'm sure most of those free throw attempts were more.
Yeah.
So that was balanced, 79% for Huron.
Not bad, yeah.
Turnovers, 5 for Pioneer, 7 for Huron. In the paint, Huron did edge them at 28 to 20. again, the majority of those are probably Moore's. Bench points were pretty, we didn't get the bench points total. 3-point field goals, 5 for Pioneer. A couple big ones there at the end.
Huge ones at the end.
That
Yeah.
was a tough shot from the corner.
Oh,
man.
yeah, it was with not a lot of time left. Powell took that with confidence, and that was as a coach calling that player or letting your player have a green light to take that shot. The amount of confidence you have to have in that point on that player is huge. And Powell hit it, and that's the difference in the game.
And that is the toughest shot on the floor.
Yeah.
The easiest is straight out, but when you're in the corner, you do not have that backboard in vision.
Yeah.
And there was defenders on him in that corner.
Oh,
man.
yeah, absolutely.
That's probably his biggest shot of his career so far.
I would think that would be huge. Well, for our color commentator, Coach Aarons, Kim Aarons, doing a fantastic job on stats. Our camera person, James Wiseman. My name is Mark Wiseman. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. Pioneer wins and beats Huron and sweeps them. Have a great night, everyone.